Hey guys, Kurt Hughes here, and today we're looking at Alex Rodriguez, and we're kind of talking about the idea of swinging down, and is that a good swing thought or is that a bad swing thought? So we're going to dig right in here. He's been pretty public about that being the swing thought that he was really working on to try to give, or that gave him the best results in his career. So let's examine whether he actually was swinging down and whether that idea can actually work in some cases. Okay, so I've been pretty public about the fact that that's really not something that I'm aiming for my hitters to do, and we'll see here that ARod doesn't swing down either. When I say swing down, what I mean is like his barrel path. We actually track his barrel. His barrel does not come down. In the beginning, it's coming down, but as it enters the zone, it starts coming up. Okay, so here it is here. And it's really up all the way from there. So if I were to just kind of draw a line like this, his barrel shape kind of looks like this through the ball, okay? So we can see that it's kind of making like a little bit of a Nike swish shape, and it really holds the same line. So you can see that red line becomes pretty much the same angle the whole time through the window of contact. So like his barrel is traveling up at a pretty consistent degree clip as it enters the hitting zone. So this angle, it's pretty straight as it comes through. So it's not like, it doesn't continue to be like a circle and be loopy. So it's not like this. Okay, so that's a hallmark of a lot of good swings. So that way we can stay on plane for as long as possible. And that's something that ARod did really well. So now let's track his hand path. So we're just gonna look at things a little bit differently. So when he gets here, okay, here's heel plant for him. I'll go back like one frame. Here's heel plant for him. Here's his hands now. Hands kind of come down like this. Still coming down. And then they kind of level out and start coming up again from here. Maybe down just a little bit more. So his hand path, the net of his hand path is definitely down, okay? And that's something that he's been talking about quite a bit. So he's not wrong, I'm not right. It's not like one of those things. It's like both things are happening, right? So ARod's hand path is down. It does go back up at this point. It doesn't continue to go down through contact. It eventually comes back uphill, but his swing thought is valid. I don't want to say that it's wrong. His thoughts about what his barrel is doing is wrong, but the hand path idea is right. And let's talk about why the hand path that's kind of going down results in an upward barrel path still, because we agree that this line, that the red and the green here at the bottom, actually is upward. Okay, so when we're just in our daily lives, so let's say that like I'm like walking around my kitchen and I'm cooking, right? I have like cabinets, and I have cabinets that are like above my head, okay, and I have cabinets that are below my head, and when I'm like interacting with those cabinets and trying to grab like pots and pans to cook things out of those, right? With the ones above my head, I'm going to be reaching up. So, okay, up. And then the ones that are below my shoulders, I'm going to be reaching down, right? So how we interact with things that are high and things that are low are usually relative to our spine angle, right? So in most cases in our daily life, our spine angle is like vertical, right? So if we look here and we look at angles, if we had a 90-degree angle right here, 90 degrees to our spine angle, I know that drawing's not perfect, but let's pretend it is in this case, okay? So if we had something that's 90 degrees from our spine angle, then that means that thing is exactly shoulder height, because I could reach my arm straight out and grab it, right? If that thing is greater than 90 degrees from our spine angle, then we know that we're reaching down. If it's less than 90 degrees from our spine angle, then we know that we're reaching up. So let's look at what ARod's spine angle is when he rotates, and that'll give us a little bit more information. So when ARod rotates, you can see that his spine angle is back like this. So if we think about how his brain interacts with what his spine angle is here, it's different than how it interacts with when he walks. So when he walks, it's usually straight up and down, and that 90-degree relationship is really how the brain thinks about, things moving uphill or downhill, right? So if we look at this, we said that numbers that are greater than 90 are down relative to the spine angle, and numbers that are lower than 90 are up relative to the spine angle, right? So we can see here that if ARod were to do something that was, let's say, 95 degrees, so if we were to aim or move his arms 5 degrees down or 6 degrees down relative to that spine angle, I can't seem to get it to stop on 95. Okay, we're gonna call it 96. So let's say that if he were to move his hands at an angle that's 6 degrees down relative to what would be perpendicular to his spine angle, you can see that that angle is still up. So like we know that level is like right here. So if I draw another line in a different color, I know this is getting a little bit busy, so I apologize for that. But this railing right here we know is flat. So if I draw a line across the railing, when we look at something that's 5 degrees down from his from what's perpendicular to his spine angle, we can see that that 96 degrees that we have up there, that angle that I've kind of highlighted, this one, is still going up. So we can have a swing down swing thought and still get a swing up barrel. But we need to learn how to rotate our body and set our spine angle first before we can actually implement a swing down swing thought that's effective. Now, some hitters, when they rotate, they're much more vertical with their body, right? So ARod, we've already noted that he has a little bit of a lean back. So hitters that lean back a lot, so let's say that ARod leaned back like this much, which would be a little excessive. If he leaned back this much, then the way that his body would rotate, he would be rotating on a plane that was 90 degrees from this, right? So here's boom. And everybody that in their right mind would look at this 90-degree angle and be like, oh my God, like, ARod, your attack angle is like way too high. Like, you shouldn't be swinging this high. It's going to result in you, missing the ball too much, right? So if someone leans back that much in their swing, as I said, that would be excessive. You'd want to swing pretty drastically down or have that swing feel, because that would result in the plane that you'd want to. But if someone's standing straight up like this, right, then you need to really, really focus on that swing up idea, because if you were to be standing straight up like we are on the left here in the red, okay, we want to be above 90 degrees, below 90 degrees for angle measurement to make sure that we're still swinging up a little bit, because we know that that attack angle, we want it to be somewhere between like 7 and 15 or 16 degrees. Depends on the type of hitter that we're dealing with. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now, but it's really, really important that we get that attack angle to where we want it to. And a lot of that is relative to where our spine angle is. If our spine angle is really straight up and down, we need to think swing up more. If our spine angle is really back, we need to think swing down more. So ARod, because he's leaned back, he can think swing up or swing down, and be really successful. But other hitters don't have that luxury. But if you learn how to set your spine on the right angle, like ARod's first, then you can think swing down or think whatever you want, and you're still going to be able to swing up. So really the key is rotation. If we learn how to rotate, and we learn how to rotate at the right angle first, then we can start talking about what the arms and hands are doing. But usually for me, I don't touch that until the body's doing what it needs to do. Hope you guys are having a good day. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email.